Hey everybody, what's going on? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you all are feeling good. Today is an interesting day. The stock market is doing some damage. It is not a good day in terms of what assets are worth today relative to yesterday. The Dow has dropped by several hundred points today, as it did yesterday. And I've mentioned to you guys on many occasions that stock market declines are a normal part of the process. Don't go listen to all your friends that'll tell you that investing's for suckers, investing's for crazy people. That's not true. You just basically have a situation where the market is doing what the market does. All good things must come to an end, and the market does fluctuate, and it does present buying opportunities, which I'm going to tell you a little bit about that in a second. If you could do me a favor really quick, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. If you have not done that yet, my name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. And in case you don't know, my background's in finance. I'm a finance professor. That's what my PhD is in. And I like to talk about black wealth and black economics. And also, just as a housekeeping item, I want everybody to know that if you're planning to come to the All Black National Convention and you have not purchased your ticket yet, unfortunately, that window has shut. We have officially sold out of all tickets for the convention. All of the President's Circle tickets are gone. All the VIP tickets are gone. All the general access tickets are gone. All the B1 ball tickets are gone. So I apologize. I hate the fact that we sold out, but I want to say thank you to those of you that are going to join us in Chicago. This is our annual family reunion where we all get together, and it's really good for anybody in our community that considers themselves to be upwardly mobile. Anybody that wants to do better, anybody that wants to break generational curses, anybody that wants to meet with the best and the brightest in our community. That's where we're getting together to solve our problems, and we're getting it done. We've been doing this 9 years now. It's impacted the entire world, and we've literally changed. We've changed the black wealth conversation because we were doing this back in 06, 07, 08. Not the convention. The convention came along in 2015, but I've been doing this since I was on the faculty at Syracuse in the 2000s. And fortunately, we now have black wealth as part of the main conversation, but there's going to be so much more happening in the future. Now, Essence is asking about virtual tickets. There are no virtual tickets available. We have to keep the cost down because we have to, we operate independently. We don't want to be dependent on corporate money or government money. So we we pay our own bills, and so we don't have any virtual tickets. However, I can send you a link if you'd like to watch the previous convention. There's so many smart people that come to the convention every year. We've had amazing people. We've had some of the really intelligent hip hop artists join us. We've had medical doctors, we've had scientists, we've had attorneys, we've had financial experts in every category from stock options to real estate. A lot of great people, Rizza Islam and people like that. And D1, he's a hip hop artist. He's come to a lot of conventions. We also have some of the smartest people out there. There are a lot of people with the letters DR in front of their name that are coming, and with strong PhDs like Dr. Ken Harris is going to be there this year. He's one of the best black leaders in the country. But anyway, let me stop talking. Let me hop back into this discussion. All right, so give me a yes if you're an investor. Give me a yes if you've noticed how the market has gone down today. The market has had a pretty steep decline. I want to say several hundred points. Yesterday was a pretty steep decline as well. And as you guys know, my consistent motto is when you talk about dips are an opportunity. Dips are not when you're supposed to run. Dip is when you're supposed to invest. Dips mean that you don't run away from the money, you run toward the money during the dips. I'm not telling you what to do. This is not investing advice. I do not give investing advice on this platform ever. However, I will say that if you want to know what I'm doing with my money and my family's money, I am buying the dip, buying the dip, buying the dip, buying the dip. Now, what's really going on? Let me break down some of the dynamics happening in the market now so you'll know what's going on. First off, Treasury yields have been going up. They're 4.25%. That has really caused the market to decline because most of the financial models that are used to value stock prices, they tend to go down when interest rates go up. So as we pushed interest rates up and we're now starting to reduce interest rates, we still have the issue that some of those increases have still yet to actually impact the market. So even though the Fed has started to reduce interest rates, we're starting to get to the point where the Fed is it may be reducing them too late, that they may not be aggressive enough in their interest rate declines to the point where the old interest rate hikes are going to start showing themselves. So interest rate hikes take several months to implement themselves in the economy. So if you go back, say 9 months ago, a year ago, they were increasing interest rates. So some of those old stage increases are starting to impact the economy now. Give me a yes if you follow what I'm saying. I don't want to talk too fast. Sometimes I do that. But basically, this is one of the things that's caused the 10-year yield to spike. When the 10-year yield spikes, it tends to cause a reduction in stock and bond prices, which becomes kind of an issue. So the other thing, too, is higher for longer. There's a concern that the Fed isn't going to cut rates fast enough. I already mentioned that. Third, the economic data is very strong, but there's a worry about the deficit. When you look at both presidential candidates, major candidates, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, both of them have economic plans that are going to significantly increase the deficit. So there's a concern that as they increase the deficit and all this government spending, our politicians are terrible. They love to spend money. This government spending is eventually going to hike interest rates even further, which is going to make it much more difficult for the government to service the debt. And it's also going to crowd out the bond market a little bit. It's going to get to the point where bond prices might drop because the government can't keep selling bonds in order to pay their debts. So basically, long story short, it's almost like if you go borrow money from your credit card company because you got to pay bills. And let's say that you borrow and then you borrow more and more and more and more and more. Well, eventually they may increase the interest rate because now you become a riskier person to loan money to. Why? Well, because you got so much debt. Do you understand? Do you get what I'm saying? Let me know if you're following this. So the government is unfortunately very fiscally irresponsible. I don't see either party really doing the work or having the political will to fix that. So when they analyze Trump and Kamala Harris's economic plans, both of those plans are expected to increase the deficit. Trump's plan is actually, ironically, going to increase the deficit more than Kamala Harris's plan because, which is interesting because Republicans take pride in government efficiency, but that argument doesn't hold a lot of water in light of the fact that Trump actually wants to spend more than Kamala. And what's even worse is that Trump wants to do tariffs, and they say tariffs where you basically tax other countries for their imports so you can protect American industries. The benefit of tariffs is that you do protect your homegrown industries. That's what I like about them because I think a lot of great jobs were moved overseas, and I'd like to protect those industries even if there's a cost to it. The downside is that the cost of goods can go up. That basically when you go to the mall, go to the store, you're going to pay a little bit more, and that creates an inflation problem. So it's kind of a trade-off, right? Personally, I don't mind a little more inflation if we're protecting American jobs, but there's a point where too much inflation can start to become overwhelming. A lot of you saw the massive amounts of inflation that occurred during the pandemic. That wasn't very healthy. So these are some of the things that the market is thinking about. Last but not least, there are risks of a recession coming up. The recessionary risk increased a little bit. When that does, that tends to drop stock prices. And also there's uncertainty about what the Fed plans to do as it pertains to their interest rate hikes in the future. So I've given you a lot to think about. And so if you want to know what's happening in the market and why, that's a good place to start. So start right there. Now, if you want to know what I'm doing, right, this is now let's jump to the next stage of the conversation. Before I do that, I see some of you had a question about how to watch last year's All Black National Convention. If you want to get a chance to watch last year's All Black National Convention, I will send you all a link. There is a fee. There is, just be prepared. There is a fee because we're an institution. The Black Business School is a university, and so we have people we have to pay. But all of our fees are fair, and they're much, much cheaper than whatever you pay to go to college. But if you want to receive a link to watch the recording, just text the word morning to the number 87948. And if you text morning to 87948, I will send you that link. And also you will get an invitation to our free Money in the Morning economic elevation training that we do 7 days a week. Every single day we talk about something economic related. It will make you better at your finances. It will help you understand money and finance and budgeting and everything else. So if you want to join us in the morning, we do this every single day because repetition is the key to success, and repetition is the key to building culture. Repetition is the key to making ourselves great again. I want Black excellence. I want us to be the best economic thinkers on the planet. So finance is my thing. I taught college students for many years. Now I'm teaching you, and we teach every single morning, and it's totally free. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring anybody who wants to better themselves. So text morning to 87948, and you'll get an invitation. And also, I have a podcast on Spotify. So if you look up my name on Spotify, you'll find the Dr. Boyce Breakdown, and you'll also find Dr. Boyce Daily Stock Market, which is purely financial. The Dr. Boyce Breakdown, I get into a little bit of everything because I am a Black man first, and I hope that's okay. I hope it's okay if I'm Black. It's all right if I'm extra Black, is it? Is that okay? Is Is that cool with y'all? But anyway, feel free to take a look at that. Now, let me talk specifically about an investment that I'm making right now that I believe is really going to do well in the future. Again, there's no guarantees, but here's what I bought. If you want to know what I just bought right now, there is a ticker symbol for URA. URA is a uranium ETF, the uranium. It's the Global X Uranium ETF. Today, it's dropped by 3.5 or 3.7%. The last 5 days, it's dropped by 4.5%. The last month, it's up by 12.5%. The year to date, it's up by about 16%. Now, in case you want to know why I'm buying uranium stuff, it's because I've talked to you guys extensively about this massive demand for AI data centers. That AI data centers are just kind of the rage right now, and these companies, Microsoft and Google and Amazon, they all kind of follow the pack. They all kind of do. They really copy each other. And basically, they're all trying to get their own nuclear reactors. I've talked to you guys about this a little bit. If you watch this conversation, or if you're a part of this every day, you see this. And I want in on that, right? I want to be a part of that. And I think it's kind of like this slow burn. It's like this slow moving train that's like right in front of you. It's a slow moving money train, where I believe that over time, as AI plays out, as the energy demand plays out, which it's going to create massive amounts of energy demand. As all this kind of happens, you're going to see, rises in energy prices. You're going to see rises in energy production. You're going to see a shift, in my opinion, toward nuclear power. So URA is the ticker. Somebody type that in the chat so others can see it. That is one asset that I'm purchasing. Also, there's another one that I mentioned to you guys before, and it's done really well since then. It's gone up 44%. And that's the company Sam Altman invested in. If you don't remember, Sam Altman is the dude who runs OpenAI. He's now a multi-billionaire in his late 30s. And Sam Altman, basically, he's helped start this company called Oklo. And Oklo is in that nuclear reactor game that I told you guys about. And I think he did that because he wanted to get ahead of what he was seeing in the future. What Sam Altman was seeing, what a lot of people were seeing, is that as as AI grows, the demand for power is going to increase, which is going to really, really push a lot of money in that sector. So he started Oklo, which is in that business of helping build these SMRs, these small modular reactors, basically tiny nuclear power plants. Like Microsoft's going to have its own nuclear power plant. It's kind of crazy. And the place where I see this being a massive opportunity is that it's one of these areas that's been neglected for a long time. Since the 3 Mile Island incident. Anybody remember that back in the 70s? 3 Mile Island, they had that meltdown. A lot of people thought nuclear power was kind of not going to be used. A lot of projects stopped and stuff like that. Now it's waking back up. And so anyway, Oklo, I bought a bunch of shares of Oklo. It's gone berserk since we bought it. I think there's more upside. It's down 9% today. OKLO is the ticker symbol. I'm gonna go buy some more Oklo. I gotta go check my portfolios. I allocate all my money. Like when you start really investing, this is one thing. This is a sign. Ladies, like if you're looking for a man that has money and stuff, men who are significant investors, women too, they don't tend to have a lot of free cash just floating around. Like, so if you meet somebody and they're just throwing money around, like he goes to the strip club and drops $400 at the strip club, what I have found is that good investors don't really do that. Good investors don't do that because you don't see your money as something that you spend. You start to see good investors see their money as something that can grow. They don't, when they see $1,000, they're not thinking, oh, look at this, I got $1,000, I can blow at the club. They're looking at the $1,000 saying, oh, I can turn this into $5,000, or I can get that business thing going and turn this into major money. Like if you guys are in the Prime program, you've seen where I basically said if you can raise like 20 grand, you could literally start a little black-owned business with stock options and make really good money with that. And that's what we go through. In case you want to know why everybody loves Prime, it's because I don't just show you how options work. Teaching you is important. That's knowledge matters. But I literally show you what I'm doing that's putting real money in my bank account. This is not pretend. This is not hype. I'm not a hype man. I'm not a financial influencer. I'm a financial scientist. This is what my PhD is in. So I know how this stuff works. I understand risk. I know how to manage it. But also, I understand what you cannot do. And one thing you cannot do, and a lot of people online act like they can do it, but they can't, is you cannot predict the short-term movements of an individual stock. There have been thousands of research papers with a jillion models designed to test that very idea. Can we predict what a stock is going to do next week based on what it's? No, you really can't. You really can't. They call it the random walk hypothesis. They won a Nobel Prize off of this stuff. So I think it's a matter of real investing. To me is a matter of like knowing what you can control and accepting the part that you can't control, and then also understanding the risks that you're exposed to. If you understand those things, then you become a better investor. You're not scared to invest. You're not, a lot of people that are scared to invest are scared because they did it wrong. It's like that person who tells you all men are terrible because she picks terrible men, or a man who says all women are bad because he picks horrible women. Well, it's the same way with investing. People who say that the stock market is bad are people who are not very good investors. They made the wrong decision at the wrong time, went in the wrong direction. Their little cousin Pookie told them to buy this 25-cent stock that they thought was going to double in a week, and it didn't happen. So if you're going for the fast money, you're probably going to lose when it comes to investing. But if you're good with the slow money, then you can win. It's very easy. The slow money just trickles down and it's nice and healthy and nice and safe. And you just have to make a plan and be consistent. If you do that, you could be rich. Okay. That's literally how investing works pretty much in a nutshell. So anyway, guys, if you want to take a look at the Prime program with the options and everything, feel free to go to drboyceprime.com. If you want to see the itinerary of the convention this year, it starts Friday. You can go to allblacknationalconvention.com. You can see what it's all about in case you want to come to the next convention. I told you we sold out already, but and we sell out pretty fast. But if you want to get your tickets for next year, we will allow those who are in the space to buy discounted tickets for next year because we want the right people in that space, because we want everybody to benefit from the network. It's the network that gives you the power. It's not just the knowledge. The knowledge is great, but the network is amazing. And then also you have a lot of fun. We have a ton of fun. So anyway, guys, I'm going to head on out of here. Feel free to hit the thumbs up button, share, subscribe before you go. If you text the word morning to 87948, I'll send you a link to watch last year's All Black National Convention. There's a lot of learning that you can do with that. And then also we actually have a legacy investors group of individuals that want to understand estate planning at the highest level, so we can prepare and make sure that when you build this wealth, you can protect it and pass it on to the next generation. We're not going to do, the Aretha Franklin setup where that poor lady, she didn't have anything really set up for her estate, and it caused her relatives to start fighting. Prince probably gave away $100 million because he did not prepare his estate. So if you ever want to give money away, just don't make a plan for your death. Don't make a plan for the future. If you don't make a plan, then someone will plan to come in and take all your money, and your kids and grandkids will be starting over from scratch. And that's not how you build wealth, because you can't win a race if you keep going back to the starting line. Do you understand? You got to add on. You got to have sort of an accumulative process. Okay. All right. So anyway, so with the market, like I said, today I'm buying as much as I can. These declines can be temporary, but don't forget that sometimes they can be prolonged. Because the market has done extremely well this year, and whenever the market does as well, I get a little bit nervous, because that means that the winter is coming. Whenever you have the good times, just know the bad times are always coming, but you store your nuts for the winter so that when the bad times arrive, you're going to be ready. And then you also use the bad times to prepare for the good times, because the sun always comes out. The sun will come out tomorrow, right? So just hold on. It's going to be fine. All right, guys. Anyway, I'm out of here. God bless you. Please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Feel free to join us for Money in the Morning class. Text morning to the number 87948, and you'll hear from me later on today. God bless you. Have a great day. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Peace.